And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Monday. Welcome back, my people. What a week it has been in the NBA. What a week. With all the gambling things going on, the gambling scandal going on, and there is much more to come on that. It looks like it, people. But it is Monday, and it is time to give shout outs and appreciation to those who gave super thanks throughout the week. But before we do that, as always, gotta give a shout out to the channel members. Shout out to Gary, aka G the Great One. Shout out to Thanos Snap Feminism, Charles Hookah, In the Groove 56, Great Juice, The Real Siberius, The Real Heisenberg, Mary Lewis, Rike, Vernon Lee Warren, It's Not That Serious, Ant Weston, Keith Brazell, Chase 1738, Austin Casey, Daryl Stewart, Adidas 20, O Ludwig Drummer, Wayman Earls, Rick Claverly, Multi Breezy B, Papa Yogito, Wizman Ballin, Twin, Dr. Les Barrett, Drum Jackson, and Eric C. Shout out to all the channel members. I truly cannot thank you all enough for your continuous support of the channel. And without further ado, my people, let's get into what viewers think about LeBron James, aka the Duck, aka the Deer, aka the leader of the 4 and 6 Kingdom, and aka Mr. Soon to be also going to jail for the gambling scandal, allegedly. First up, shout out to Desmond Sherrill 7428. This is coming from last week's What Viewers Say About the Duck. He comes through with the $2 super thanks, and he says, rest in peace to Eddie Guerrero. He up in heaven like, damn, LeBron lie, cheat, and steal more than I did in wrestling. With 3 laughing emojis. Shout out to Desmond Sherrill. Yeah, facts. Next up, shout out to Swan Daily coming through with the $2 super thanks. This is coming from the same video. He says LeBron should become a professional limbo player. Since he's able to go so low, he might have an actual chance of becoming the GOAT of that sport. That is a fact. LeBron James, like I said, the one thing he is good at is continuing to go lower than you thought he could go before. He has done this his whole career. He started off leaving Cleveland in the lowest way that you could possibly do so without giving any inkling that he was going to do so to the fans and the organization. He had that stupid press conference where he announced to the world that, yes, I lied when I said I was going to spend my career in Cleveland and I would never leave. I'm headed to chase championships and take the easy route and go join 2 other superstars. Instead of competing against them, I am going to Miami. And then he left Miami and went back to Cleveland and won a suspect championship. And then he left Cleveland once more. And unfortunately for Lakers fans everywhere, he came to the Lakers to ruin the organization, which he has successfully done. He is the GOAT at ruining organizations. And then if you didn't think it could get any worse, people, LeBron James said, hold my beer. I'm about to get my podcast partner a job coaching so that he can help coach my bum son, and so that he can cap for my son like the NBA has been capping for me my whole career. So he can say, oh yeah, Bronny James wasn't given anything. He earned this. Let's get this clear. He hasn't been given anything. I know he's in the NBA because his father's LeBron, but he earned his father being LeBron. He earned that, so therefore he earned the right to be in the NBA. And the GOAT is still, the GOAT of corruption is still going, people. Just wait and see. But shout out to Swan Daily. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very, very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to Dr. Les Barrett coming through with the $2 super thanks, and this is coming from my LeBron James says he dreamed of playing in the All-Star game. And on the thumbnail, I put, is he lying? And Dr. Les Barrett simply says, is he talking? With 3 laughing emojis. Because if LeBron James is talking, then it is a good chance that he's also lying, people. I know that's hard for LeBron James fanboys to hear, but at some point you're gonna have to embrace this truth because because truth is coming for your king. Truth is coming for your king in full pursuit right now, LeBron James fanboys. So you guys, you know, I've been telling you to get ready for a couple of years now, but you know, I guess you didn't want to listen. Next up, shout out to Peter KTM. This is coming from the same video. He comes through with the $5 super thanks. He says, uncommon, peace to you, brother. I didn't listen to the interview as I'm not really a fan of either of their personalities or tactics, especially Hawk early on in his teenage years. A bit of sneaky, underhanded, cutthroat athlete in his own right. He's matured a bit, it seems, but still not really a fan. And I was a big time skater from 01 to 09. But uncommon, bro, I swear I thought LeBron was about to have a mental slip when Tony Hawk mentioned the LeBron longevity comparison comment. I promise I thought LeClown was gonna say, oh, why are you juicing too? Yeah, I had to rewind to make sure I didn't miss anything. I swear, LeBron loves to incriminate himself, and when he isn't doing it, his crew of cronies is. I can't wait till this all comes crumbling down, and I'm so glad to be front row for the show. I can sense the rightful GOAT is about to return and take his proper place among public opinion. Can't wait. Keep well. Shout out to you, Peter. Yes, that is hilarious. So for those who didn't know, the video about LeBron says he's dreamed of playing in an All-Star game, that was coming from, he was doing an interview with Tony Hawk, the famous skateboarder. And Tony Hawk mentioned that, hey, I take it as a compliment when people say, I'm the LeBron James of skateboarding because I've been in it so long. and yeah, that would have been hilarious if that had slipped out. Yeah, you juice too. you know my guy? Yeah, you know that guy Kel Sonnen was talking about? Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Peter. Thank you so much for the $5 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continuing support of the channel. Oh yeah, and like I was saying in that video as well, LeBron James fanboys, notice he said that people says he's like LeBron James simply because of longevity. They didn't say anything because of how great of a skateboarder he is. That's the difference. And again, once these whole PED allegations come to light, because they very well may, then LeBron James won't have that argument anymore. And so that means horrible news for you LeBron James fanboys. That means you guys would have spent so many years of your life capping for a false king, and you didn't heed any of the warnings given to you by multiple people. I'm sure people in your own life have told you that the way you defend LeBron is ridiculous. You've heard it on this channel. You've heard it from people who watch this channel. You've heard it from other content creators, and yet you didn't heed the warning. So I would imagine when that finally comes crumbling down, you guys are going to feel extra ridiculous. But I will tell you this, LeBron James fanboys. I know I'm hard on you on this channel, but whenever you guys come out of the delusion, whenever you guys are ready to join the real world with logic and reasoning, we will gladly welcome you back. And you'll have a name again, because right now you're just fanboy number 1, 2, 3, 4, take your pick. Anyway, next up, shout out to Multi Breezy B. This is coming from my Michael Jordan shows what a real GOAT looks like and talks like on his first appearance on NBC. And such a short 3-minute segment had the whole sports world buzzing. 3 minutes was all it took to remind the world who the GOAT was. So all of the media marketing and bullying and campaigning that LeBron James and Unclutched Sports does to try to convince the world that LeBron James is something he's not, all it took was Michael Jordan to tell a story about shooting free throws, and people were like, oh yeah, that's how GOATs talk. Oh yeah, that's what a GOAT sounds like. Oh yeah, that's what it sounds like when someone can just be themselves and doesn't have to put up a front so they can try to appear like they're something greater than they are. That's what it's like when someone just knows that they're great and they don't have to try to say it or shove it in people's faces. They just let the world say it for them. And by the way, LeBron James fanboys, if you noticed in the video that came out, proving that Michael Jordan was indeed telling the truth, because a lot of people wanted to try to say it wasn't the truth, it was a lie. If you notice in the video, not only did he make the free throw like he said he did, but he also, before he shot the free throw, was giving the young kid some education on the game. He was telling them about the Wilt Chamberlain rule and different things. So Michael Jordan, again, still paying it forward, still educating on the game. And like he said in the interview, paying it forward because athletes have an obligation to do that. But anyway, shout out to Multi Breezy B coming through with the $2 super thanks. He says, when MJ talks, we listen. When number 23 for the Lakers speak, we look for what lie he will say next. But keep up the good work. This is one of my favorite channels. Shout out to Multi Breezy B. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. And like I said, thank you all so very much for continuing to support the channel. But this is a fact. When Michael Jordan talks, people listen. And it doesn't matter what he's talking about, because first and foremost, you can tell that he's genuine. You can tell that he's genuine with what he is saying. So, you know, that alone makes him far more worth listening to than the fake duck. But then number two, like he said, when the fake 23 for the Lakers speaks, the only thing you can do is to try to make sure he's at least telling the truth, which is most of the time he's not. When LeBron James speaks most times, and this is a very sad fact, that he's either blatantly lying or he's trying to rewrite history. Both are forms of lying, but you know, or trying to spin something to try to make himself look better. But unfortunately, this is the truth, LeBron James fanboys, about your false king. But anyway, shout out to Multi Breezy B. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. And thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to Man of Understanding 3102. This is coming from my More Bad News. LeBron James' name comes up in gambling scandal. He comes through with the $5 super thanks. He says Kwame Brown warned him, but he's too much of a narcissist to take advice. Indeed. Kwame Brown was basically saying, hey, look, you trying to do all these things to disrupt things because you throwing a tantrum. You know, you want talking about starting your own league and all these different things. When you play with people with more money than you, because LeBron James, you know, you're a billionaire, but you're on the low end of the billions compared to some of these people and organizations that have been around for a very, very long time. And Kwame Brown was saying, hey, if you do this, you better have a squeaky clean image, because if you start messing with people's money and start being a threat to people's money, they will expose you. And so who knows, maybe this is part of that. But at the end of the day, when your legacy is built on lies, things tend to expose themselves in due time. And so, you know, part of this is not only that part, but it's also the fact that LeBron James has just pushed the fans too far. He's pushed the people in the NBA too far. Like I said, he didn't know how to leave well enough alone. He didn't know how to say, hey man, okay, I've been team hopping and trading players and coaches. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. He didn't know how to do that. He was like, no, they still not calling me the GOAT. I guess I'm gonna have to get my son in the NBA. I guess I'm gonna have to bring my son to the NBA. Nobody's done that before. That will have to make them see me as the GOAT. And unfortunately, I believe that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I believe last year, LeBron James did so many ridiculous, unthinkable things that he really turned a lot of people against him who have been capping for him all this time. And it's only going to get worse, LeBron James fanboys. We keep telling you this every week, but you guys don't seem to want to hear it. And, you know, I guess you're going down with the ship. But anyway, next up, shout out to Roland Curtis off Expo AM. And this is coming from the same video. No, this is coming from another L for fanboys. This is coming from Michael Jordan and NBC highest ratings for opening night since 2010, I believe it is. And he comes through with the $2 super thanks. He says, now the load management era makes sense. Now the lack of defense era makes sense. Now all of the random take Anthony Davis injuries make sense. Now the excessive, unnecessary three-point shots make sense. Now the confusing, repetitive parade to the free throw line makes sense. Now the low viewership of the LeBron James era make absolute sense. Yeah, facts. I mean, well, it's so much going on that is opening the eyes of a lot of people. You know, and I think number one, Michael Jordan coming back to NBC is a great thing for two reasons. Obviously, number one, Michael Jordan being back around the game in any capacity is great for the game. But also, NBC knows how to put on a much better product than, like I said, I watched a couple of clips from the broadcast on NBC, and it is just presented much better than the game has been presented in a very long time. And then with all this gambling stuff coming up, I mean, yeah, you just got to question everything that's happening in the NBA and that has been going on in the NBA for, like I said, a decade or more now. But LeBron James fanboys, this is your king. But shout out to Roland Curtis. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continuous support of the channel. Next up, shout out to the Dr. 3196. This is coming from the same video, and he comes through with the $2 super thanks, and he says he just talked for, I think that's supposed to be 3 minutes, and that did the job. Fanboys, do you think NBC would ever invite La Sciatica for anything? Where are you all at, fanboys? Yeah, fanboys, you guys, a lot of you been oddly quiet since Michael Jordan returned. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back and look through my videos, but I felt like you guys would have a lot more to say than what I've seen here in the last few days. Something going on with you guys? Are you guys scared to comment? Are you guys scared to defend your king? Now that Michael Jordan is back, are you scared since you saw what a 3-minute clip of Michael Jordan did to sports media? It completely took it over. And fanboys, we've been trying to tell you, like, not only have we been trying to tell you about Michael Jordan as the GOAT of basketball, but we've been trying to explain to you how much more popular than LeBron James was and will ever be. Michael Jordan, first of all, Michael Jordan is still overall more popular than LeBron James, but during the 90s, fanboys, you guys have no earthly idea of what popular looks like for an athlete. You can't even fathom it. There's no way I can explain it to you. There's no way I can make you see that. There's no video I could put together with examples. There's nothing I could do to make you understand what Michael Jordan was like at the height of his career. But this should give you an inkling. A 3-minute clip of Michael Jordan talking took over sports media. Fanboys, I'm sorry. Your king can't do that, could never do that, will never be able to do that, and he will go to bed at night wishing he could do that. And I'm sure you guys wish it for him. But shout out to the Dr. 3196. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to Dr. Les Barrett coming through with the $2 super thanks. This is coming from the same video about the ratings. He says, what kind of necklace was LeBron wearing in that Minnesota game? I actually didn't even notice. But without having seen it, I could tell you it's ridiculous. Whatever it was ridiculous, just like that pearl choker he wore at the ESPYs, just like that orange purse he was spotted with walking in Paris. Whatever it was ridiculous. Shout out to Dr. Les Barrett. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. Next up, shout out to the Dr. 3196 again. And this is coming from the NBA is in serious trouble, people. The NBA serious gambling problem exposed by former mob boss. And he comes through with the $2 super thanks. He says, so all those air balls LeBron threw was just part of the gamble. Referees amp up the expectation for the Lakers to get close enough to bet for the Lakers, and then LeBron throws it all away at the last minute. So anyone who bet against the Lakers, cough, Clutch Sports, wins money. So LeBron wasn't funding Clutch with his own salary money, but it was all gamble wins that was paying off media members and YouTubers. This all makes sense. Greatest era of basketball ever. I said sarcastically. Yeah, this era is a complete disaster. Fanboys, realize that you guys officially live in the most ridiculous era of NBA basketball. That you guys officially have lived the most disastrous era of basketball. Unfortunately, that is your king's legacy. this is what you guys have to brag about, is that this is the most ridiculous era of basketball. This is the era where they have not only had to change so many things, but the reason that they had to change so many things is because these players aren't competing. And now you throw this on top of it, this gambling aspect, and now you have to wonder, okay, how much of it is these players are just not competitive like that? And how much of it is some of these players trying to fix games and throw games and stuff? It's like, this is completely ridiculous. And this is you guys' era, unfortunately. This is what you guys grew up on. And, you know, I really feel sorry for you guys that you didn't get to see real basketball. You got to see the NBA led by a duck and Commissioner Baltimore. But shout out to the Dr. 3196. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. Thank you so very much for your continued support of the channel. And last but not least, shout out to the real Siberius. Peep my people, if you have not checked out his channel, please go and do so. He comes through with the $2 super thanks. And this is coming from the same video. He says, the reality is all this should come down on Adam Silver. He is the commissioner and therefore should bear the majority of responsibility and accountability. Obviously, the other individuals involved should be held accountable as well. But if I am a CEO of a company and the company is found to be participating in nefarious activities, then I should be held accountable for those actions, even if I wasn't actively taking part. If I am head of the beast, I am responsible for what the body does or is allowed to do. I just can't imagine a scenario where he is not personally involved in this and isn't benefiting from it. I totally agree with that. The NBA is entering a dark time, sadly, or you should say is entering darker times. There is no Magic Bird rivalry to save at this time. The league may be up a creek without a paddle this time. It may have to burn down so it can rebuild again. Facts. Shout out to the real Siberius. For LeBron James fanboys, not just you guys, but this is for the NBA players too. This is what I've kind of been saying for a while now, is that people take stuff for granted because they believe that it will always be there. But if the world has shown us one thing, is that anything can happen at any time. This is why people need to stay humble. Anything could happen at any time. It doesn't matter who you are and what you do. It doesn't matter how poor you are or how much money you got. If you got a ton of money and you think that something couldn't happen to make you go broke, you are sadly mistaken. And this is the same thing with these NBA players. You guys are living off the work done by previous generations, which makes it ultra sad that you guys would disrespect the previous eras when they are the ones who dealt with the hard times so that you guys could have the good times. They are the ones, you know, if you're talking about back in the days with Bill Russell and them couldn't even stay at certain hotels because of the color of their skin. And then if you move it forward, you're talking about players who had to fly commercial. And so these players went through all of these type of things so that you guys could make the kind of money you make now and, you know, have your private jets and all these things. And you guys spend time not respecting the game. You guys doing this low management. You guys participating in these gambling scandals and doing all these things and not respecting the fans because you take the game for granted. You think it's gonna always be there. 2020 should have showed the whole world that things can change at the drop of a dime. But people don't think that way. It always takes the worst happening before people actually react. And so you can choose to be that kind of person to just live in the delusion that nothing could ever go wrong, or you can be in reality and stay humble and realize that what you have, there's always someone who is not doing as well as you are. So be thankful for what you have. And because you be thankful for what you have, you don't take it for granted. You appreciate it. And if you happen to be one of the people who gets to do what you love for a living, you of all people should be the most thankful. You should, of all people, should understand that it's the fans who make that possible for you. Or if you work, or maybe you're the inventor of a product that people are buying, like Microsoft or something. But it is the consumer that makes that possible. So again, this goes back to people not taking things for granted. But yeah, I completely agree. Adam Silver should take the biggest chunk of accountability and responsibility for what's happening. But when it comes to money, that's the determining factor. And what's going to determine that is how important is Adam Silver to the people who he answers to. That's what's going to determine it. How important is he to the people who got the real money, who's controlling everything behind the scenes? If they deem Adam Silver is too important to lose, nothing will happen to Adam Silver, because money talks, and they will make certain that nothing happens to Adam Silver. However, if they say, oh, well, you know what? Actually, there's this other guy who we think would be better at running the league, and so this would be a good opportunity to get Adam Silver on out the door. And in that case, yeah, all bets are off. And that's with any of these people. This is what LeBron James as well. This is why LeBron James is so stupid and ridiculous, because he doesn't understand that concept that if you push people too far, you lose your safety net. You lose people's willingness to cover for you. You lose people's willingness to cap for you, and then the walls crumble. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as I always say on Mondays at the end of these videos, please continue to support the content creators who are giving you their real and honest opinions that aren't paid for. Shout out to Sports and Fitness Rants. Shout out to Angry Old Hoops. Shout out to Man Down Sports. Shout out to Sports Tea. Shout out to 93Z. Shout out to Self Research NBA Facts. Shout out to The Basketball Show. Shout out to Scap Attack, Uncut Hoops, Dreamers Pro. Who else am I missing? Too Raw for TV, Ticket TV. Shout out to Kwame Brown. And anybody else who I didn't mention. Oh, shout out to The Real Mind Crime. Anybody else I didn't mention, please drop them in the comments so that people can go and check these content creators out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about any of the comments left here today. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.